Hey guys, how you doing? It's KJ here, and today we have another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we have something a little bit different. With the way the community is feeling at the minute about the game and the direction it's going, I reached out on Discord and Reddit to the communities I'm involved in for their opinions and their hot takes on the state of the game as it is now. So it's been about a week of waiting for these responses, so I've picked out a few of my favourites and just a few that stuck out or hot topics and what they're about. So we're going to go through them. I'll give you my opinion on it. We'll see where they stand, how true or false I think they are. And as always, if you disagree with anything I say or you have an opinion on anything anyone else has said, let me know down in the comments below. So first, we're going to go to my clan Discord member comments. There aren't many. These are just a few of my favourites that I've picked out. We'll start with two that are relatively hot topics because they revolve around the Cadaver, Nerf, and Hydra clash generally. So we had two, one from Big Head Mike and one from Pigeon, who were both directly related to Cadaver Nerf. So Big Head Mike said the Cadaver Nerf is possibly the best thing that they could have done. And then we had Dr. Pigeon turned around and said Cadaver was not bugged and therefore did not need to be fixed. Trunda, however, is bugged and has been for a very long time. Now, I stand actually on the side of Cadaver needed tweaking. I wouldn't necessarily say it was fixing. It was a tweak. So if we go to what they've done with Cadaver here. Dead Horde. Here he is. So all they've added is a cap to the value of damage he can do from the shield. Now, with Hydra Clash the way it is, Hydra Clash is not set up for everyone to be involved in at the minute. Particularly when you're looking at 35 mil plus damage for the lowest chest. Team doesn't finish in the top 3, don't get one. Don't do 35 mil plus damage, don't get any rewards. You save your keys specifically for this and you do not get anything for doing it. But if we have a look, it's actually become a lot easier to do now because it's not filled with Cadaver teams. Whereas at the top end, they're probably right, you will find a lot of Trunda teams, whereas at the top end, you will find a lot of Trunda teams, a lot of Acrisia teams, generally just be up there with terms of how broken Trunda can actually be with damage at high-end Hydra. But it's the way she's always worked, it's the way she's designed to work. She does her job. I don't think she needs touching at all, but I'm 100% behind what they've done with Cadaver. So, another one I picked out was endgame champions lose a lot of their viability early game, which is, I'd say, probably a fair comment. So if we pick someone, let's say, we'll go with a free champion, we'll go with Artak. If he's built well, he is an absolute carry for any account. But you can't build the speed, accuracy, and HP in him that you need. You can only build one of these two stats, or you can only build two of these three stats, or you can build three of them, but it's mediocre. He's not going to work as well. It escalates more with real meta end game champions. Like, I don't have a Acrisia. You could build an Acrisia well, she will carry your account. If you can't build an Acrisia well, you've got a Cold Heart, but with more enemy max HP hits. You've got a Cold Heart that does enemy max HP on 3 skills rather than a Cold Heart that does enemy max HP on 1 skill. So, I'd say that's fair depending on where you are in the game. Like, first 30 days, they're going to be your best champion by far, but they're not going to be anywhere near as good as they can be, and they will be later on. No, thank you. Another one from Discord. Dragon has become the worst dungeon to farm. The only time you do it is 3x speed, and even so, Perception can take that place easily. This, once again, it's one I'm on the fence with because, like, I don't mind changing my fastest champions. If we look at my... Where's she gone? She was here somewhere. If we look at my Arbiter. He's not particularly fast. Like, there are people that run damage dealers this speed, 308. And I probably could, if I went through and looked at her gear, speed her up a bit. But Like, I think speed really is out the meta anyway. Like, if you're trying to get speed, you're trying to get it in other sets. So I actually have Cardial, for instance. He's at 251 speed, so he's relatively fast. But he's not in speed gear at all. He does have... So this is, you know, that's going to be helping the fact I've rolled speed ascension, but he's not in, like, crazy gear. Like, everything else has rolled really badly, but... So I think actually speed sets, I think, fall off later in the game, but I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact you farm dragon less and less. Like, you're looking for speed on different sets. But 100%, you can just come in, forge all of your perception gear. As you can see, I did all of mine last time round in CVC, and it will, to a degree, take the place, but it just doesn't give you the same payout as you'd get from speed gear. So, right. Now, let's pick out, these were some of my favourite ones from Reddit. I will call out the users if I can see their name or if I feel I can pronounce their name. So, No Dark Vision said, not everyone with a stronger account than yours is automatically a whale. Maybe they just play more or are naturally better. And this is something I 1000% agree with. 1000%. If we go into my arena, I'm sat in gold 3 at the minute. Like, some of these teams aren't crazy. Like this team here, not crazy champions. Free to play, rare, epic, rare. 160k player power, and you can guarantee these will be built well. So, in fact, let's take this team as an example. So I'm running a fairly standard speed farming team. Speed, stun, decreased defense, massive nuke. But if we look, one of them's going to be in, there we are, shield straight up on run that. And you can see their health pools are actually very big for the way they are. Like this doesn't mean people have like actually thrown loads of money at the game. You're up here. This would mean you've thrown loads of money at the game. +4 Kymar, +4 Yumiko, +4 Siphi, +4 Rotos. That's throwing money at the game. Just because someone has, like, there's quite a few here that have, you know, much higher power than my arena team do. But doesn't mean they throw more money at the game than I do. It just means they may be better than I am. So they may actually have their Arbiter going faster than I do because they've built a better. Their Duchess may be higher resistance, higher HP than mine is. But you can't always judge how much someone's throwing at it by their power or by how strong their account is. It's just not the way it works all the time. Sometimes it's 100% the case, but sometimes it's just not the way it works. You can't just judge someone by their player power and go, oh, that's really high. They've thrown loads of money at this game. If they're 30 days in and they've got the same player power as me, yeah, they've thrown a lot of money in it. But they're 2 years in and they're sat at 3 mil player power, decent Grey Hall, decent account stats. They could be free to play. They could be low spend. They could have whaled out early on. They could just now be starting to whale out and were free to play. You just don't know by player power alone how much someone has thrown at this game. 2K Bliss with Doom Tower was the last piece of content that actually made players feel rewarded for their effort. Everything since then has been forcing power creep to keep people spending. Now this one I 1000% agree with. 100% factually correct. Doom Tower, whether you are... So I'm still working through Doom Tower Easy, because I'm still trying to collect the shards for all of the Doom Tower Easy characters. I haven't unlocked all of the champions from Doom Tower Easy, so I'm doing that, because I want to complete all of them. I want to get all of them, just so I can say I have them. I haven't even done my silver keys today. I'm a bit slacking on Doom Tower, I will admit. But everything else, so if we look at all the new content, we've already touched on it. Hydra Clash, Sand Devils, Phantom Shogun's Grove, Iron Twins. These are the forms of content that are forcing people, and this is where I think it went horribly wrong for them. 6 months ago, you spent $500 a month in Raid. You were spending $500 a month to be ahead of everybody who wasn't spending that much money. You spent $100, I spent $50, you'd progress faster than me. It was just the way it was. You spent more to get ahead. Whereas now, you have to spend money just to keep up with the meta and the way everything's running. So if you want to be progressing through Sand Devils and Phantom Shogun, you want to be competing every week in Hydra Clash, you want to be up here, these chests, every week, top of the leaderboard, plus then doing all your dailies, so your arena, your live arena, your 3v3, your normal clan boss, Doom Tower. There's just a lot of resources you have to buy and plow into the game just to keep on top of everything every day. If you were to do everything every day, you're talking thousands of energy a day just farming a bit of everything and not even progressing anywhere. So actually, I think since Doom Tower is all been about power creep and keeping everyone paying into the game just to keep going and stay with it. Next, we have right, where was it? Next, I'm probably going to butcher this name, I will admit. This is another one from Reddit. Agrias Beolv. Free-to-play players are like vegans. They always announce themselves. And once again, this turned into a joke on the Reddit feed. That's why I haven't got the Reddit feed up. Because as you can imagine, there's a bit of back and forth with certain people over this comment. And generally with some of these comments, letting people know how they felt. But there is a certain stigma that whales don't have to admit they're whales. You can see a whale's a whale by their account. Whereas free-to-play players can be up with mid to low spenders if they know what they're doing, if they can sort of farm their resources and manage their resources properly. Prime example of this, Eobard. Eobard's main account has never had any money thrown at it, but it is better than most low spenders' accounts for the same amount of time played. Period. There will be exceptions to that rule, but as a rule of thumb, Eobard's account, his main account, is better than most people's low spender accounts for the same amount of time played, because he can manage his resources more effectively than other people can. He is smarter with the way he plays, therefore he gets better use out of every single resource he earns. So actually, tempted to partially agree with this one. Next one, this is from the old Kane on Reddit. End game, it's like Pokemon Light. Collect shards for X amount of months, hope you pull an S tier, then repeat. That is the point the game is at. So people now are just pulling for dupes when there's a good 10x. So you can guarantee people will be pulling right now for either a Kymar or a Valkynon. Not so much Valkynon, I don't think, but Kymar, trying to get a +4 Kymar, or people trying to get their first Kymar. People have been saving for so long, they'll see a Kymar. Oh, did not mean to do that. We're doing 10. I need to do my daddies anyway. But people will be waiting for so long to pull their shards. They will see 10x chance for Kymar on Ancients, Primals, Sacreds, and they will be buying shards, splurging what they've got saved just to try and pull Kymar. Because it is your best chance of pulling a Kymar is on a 10x if you're close to Pity. So I get it, but at the same time, we shouldn't be at the point where the only way to progress is to only have +4 legendaries. You know, if they allowed empowerment of epics, which they still haven't given an answer on, shout out to Ashy's video on that, but they still haven't answered whether we're going to get epic empowerment. So I can't see that state of the game changing for a long time yet. Unless this new big game mode they've teased coming out next year is actually as big as they say it is and will rival Doom Tower, I can't see us actually having much to go on with it. So, right, we have a couple of... So, right, the next two are probably going to rub some people up the wrong way. And that's okay. Don't agree? Let me know in the comments why you don't agree. Don't just say they're wrong. Say they're wrong because let me know why you think they are wrong. First one from Oh Lucifer on Reddit. As someone who has played for years every day on multiple accounts, the game has never been better. This, once again, I partially agree with because we have more content in the game now than we've ever had before. That's, you know, that's the journey of games like this. And granted, you know, once your Great Hall's done, that's one less thing you get to be particularly worried about. But you do have your arena bonuses you can focus on. So you may be trading doing loads of classic arena for doing some live arena. But you've still got the 3 types of arena. You've still got faction wars. We have plenty of dungeons for you to be going into. I mean, Minotaur really is the only one that ever falls off. Like, until you get to ultra late game, in which case Minnows falls off, Dragons falls off. You're only really looking at Ice Golems, maybe. Spiders for Silver. Fire Knights. And then Sand Devils and Phantom Shoguns, like, for the keeps, you will be needing the keeps as long as you have champions to ascend. Once you reach ultra end game, you're not sending champions anymore. These go away. Iron Twins, it is what it is. They're never going to change it. They're never going to fix it. But we have so much content in the game now that I have to agree. We've never had more, and it's the game, other than the spending issues, never been in a better place. And the other one that's going to, I think, upset a few people from Foxes, TTA, Tag Team Arena is a gear check and understanding how to set up teams. You don't need empowered Legos to get to Gold 1. And for reference, Gold 1 is actually as high as you need to get, I believe, unless I miss something, as high as you need to get Romantu Drake's Blood finished. And I genuinely think with a bit of help, a bit of understanding of the game, anyone can get there if you understand your champions. So if we go to... Oh, I can't click the right place today. We go to Tag Team Arena. See some teams... I mean, granted, this is only down in bronze. But you will sometimes see teams that just make no sense. So if we go to let's refresh, see if we can pick up an easy one. I'm not going to actually do the battle here because sometimes these can take a while, but so what I've done here is, once again, I've, you know, I don't really do tag team. It's only for now I'm in a competitive CVC clan. I've decided I need to climb up and start actually doing CVC and doing tag team arena. But I have a go first team with Arbiter. I have an AoE ally attack team that actually has revive on death, increase crit rate, increase crit damage. So that team, just about doing damage. And then I have my annoying team. Mortu, everyone knows if you don't have the specific champions to deal with him, can be a problem, but it's quite easy to counter. And then Duchess, UDK, and Ninja. But this, once again, they're not perfect teams, but because I understand that actually this team could be quite irritating and can just outlast the second team, this team, if we go first, can just do damage, and if Uko survives, can bring everyone back. And then we have, of course, your typical go first arena team. So I think to a degree, getting to Gold 1 relatively simple if you understand the champions you're using. So I have to give it to Foxes. I think he's right. And then we have, I'm going to throw in three. The final three are there from Reddit again. And they are just, they're just people trying to be funny. And I think they're things everyone's thought, said, or had said to them. Particularly two of them at some point in the past. And the third one might actually be the first one here that I have to completely disagree with. So, first one we have is some of these champions have unnaturally large breasts. So, that was this relative on Reddit, and he's right. We won't go into it, but he's right. If you know, you know, he's right. Applause. War Maidens cheeked up. He's right. Once again, can't deny it. I'm not going to say any more on it, but he's right. Or she's right. I apologise if I've got genders wrong here. I apologise, but this is Reddit. I'm just going off usernames. And the final one that we will end this video on is Jack of No Trade 5. Raid should just copy the good stuff from Summoner's War. I mean, it could just be that I never got into Summoner's War, but this is the first comment I've seen at all that I just genuinely cannot agree with. I can't agree with it. I don't know why. I just do not think that would help the situation we have here at Raid at all. Like, there's nothing we can do. Like I don't think copying any other game would work. It just wouldn't. You can't copy another game because then you're not going to bring in players from that other game. And if you highlight the things another game does better than you by doing the same thing but not as well, you risk your players going, that game does this better, that game does that better. I'll just go and play that. They'll stop spending in one game, they'll go over to another game and throw their time into that. So, they have been some of the community hot takes I've got over the last 8-9 days. So if you disagree with anything, let me know down in the comments below. If you've got any hot takes yourself, let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.